On the dusty surface of Nix 7, the sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows over the desolate landscape. A team of scientists, clad in high-tech suits, worked tirelessly to uncover the secrets of the ancient world beneath their feet. Dr. Lena Torres, the mission leader, knelt beside a peculiar structure half buried in sand and rock. Its intricate designs glimmered faintly in the sunlight, hinting at advanced technology long forgotten. "Careful, everyone," Lena called, her voice laced with excitement. "We might be the first to find a piece of history that predates our arrival in the galaxy." As the team carefully excavated the artifact, a low hum began to resonate from within it, vibrating through the ground like the heartbeat of the planet itself. The sound grew louder, and the artifact's surface pulsed with an ethereal light. Lena exchanged nervous glances with her colleagues, their expressions shifting from excitement to apprehension. "Should we activate it?" asked Malik, a young engineer with an insatiable curiosity. "We have to," Lena replied, her determination cutting through the tension. This could be monumental. With a deep breath, she pressed a series of symbols on a panel that had materialized on the artifact's surface. The humming intensified, and suddenly, a holographic image sprang to life before them. The team gasped collectively as an alien figure materialized, a tall, slender being with luminescent skin and deep-set eyes. The hologram began to speak in a haunting, melodic language, accompanied by symbols that danced in the air. Lena quickly activated the universal translator. As the words transformed into a language they could understand, a chilling message unfolded. "Beware the humans. Their resilience is unmatched, their unpredictability a weapon. We, the Exarech, fell to chaos brought forth by their presence. Do not engage." The message replayed several times, punctuating their rising unease. Lena's heart raced. What have we stumbled upon? As the hologram flickered, more images emerged, scenes of destruction, entire civilizations crumbling, alien worlds in flames, all attributed to encounters with humanity. Each frame echoed with the fear and devastation that Exarech experienced, underscoring the sheer magnitude of their warning. Malik trembled slightly. "Are they saying we're a threat?" Lena nodded, her mind racing. "But we're explorers, not conquerors. This doesn't represent all of us. We can't let this define humanity." Just then, an alarm blared from the comms unit strapped to Lena's arm. "Emergency. Incoming ships detected." A voice crackled through the static, urgent and panicked. "We need to evacuate now." The ground shook as a fleet of sleek alien vessels pierced the atmosphere above them, casting ominous shadows over the excavation site. Lena's team scrambled to secure the artifact, but panic swept through the group as they realized the implications of their discovery. The warning had attracted the attention of the Council of Galactic Species, and they were coming to investigate. "Get the artifact aboard," Lena shouted, her voice breaking through the chaos. "We need to warn Earth." As they sprinted toward their shuttle, Lena glanced back at the hologram, its haunting visage etched into her memory. The fear of the Exarech resonated deep within her, igniting a fierce determination. Humanity might be viewed as a threat, but she refused to accept that fate. If they could harness their resilience and creativity, they could change the narrative. As the shuttle ascended, the alien ships swarmed closer, their intentions unknown. The stakes had never been higher. Lena steeled herself, ready to confront whatever awaited them in the vastness of space. The artifact was not just a relic. It was a key to understanding the past, and perhaps their future. The shuttle's engines roared as it shot into the sky, weaving through the menacing shadows of the alien fleet above. Lena's heart raced as she punched in the coordinates for Earth, but her mind was still reeling from the hologram's warnings. The Exarech had fallen to chaos, and now humanity was on the brink of becoming the galaxy's next cautionary tale. As they broke through the atmosphere and into the vastness of space, Malik's voice broke the tense silence. "Do you think they know what we found? That we activated the artifact?" Lena shook her head, her brow furrowed. I don't know, but we can't take any chances. We need to brief command as soon as we get back. The flight back to Earth felt like an eternity, each minute stretching painfully. When they finally docked, Lena's team rushed through the corridors of the sprawling military facility, their footsteps echoing against the cold metal floors. They burst into the command center, where high-ranking officers and scientists huddled around screens, tracking the movements of the alien fleet. "Dr. Torres, you're back," General Hayes exclaimed, looking both relieved and anxious. "We've been monitoring the situation. The Council of Galactic Species has convened, and they're demanding answers about the humans. What did you find?" Lena took a deep breath, trying to steady her nerves. "We uncovered an artifact from the Extraterrestrial civilization. It warns against human unpredictability and resilience. They believe we pose a significant threat to the galaxy." A heavy silence fell over the room as the officers exchanged worried glances. "What kind of threat?" one asked, a hint of disbelief in his voice. They didn't provide specifics, but their history suggests they suffered catastrophic consequences from previous encounters with humans. Lena replied, "We need to act fast and address the Council before they take any aggressive measures against us." General Hayes nodded, grim determination replacing uncertainty. "Prepare a briefing. We'll send a delegation to the Council immediately. If we can prove that we're not the monsters they believe us to be, we might have a chance." As Lena and her team began to assemble their findings, the command center's screens flickered to life, displaying the Council's logo. The tension in the room mounted as the interstellar assembly of alien representatives filled the screen, each one emanating a palpable sense of authority and suspicion. The Council leader, a stately figure with shimmering skin and piercing eyes, addressed the delegation from Earth. "Humans, we have received alarming reports regarding your actions on Nix 7. You activated an artifact of the Extraterrestrial, a civilization that warned us of your species' unpredictable nature. Explain yourselves." Lena stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Honorable members of the Council, we come in peace. The artifact we discovered holds important historical significance. We are not the threat that Exarac warned about. We are explorers, creators, and allies. Our resilience is not born from malice, but from the necessity of survival." Her word tongue in the air, met with skeptical murmurs from the alien representatives. Calthor, the fearsome warlord of the Dreth, leaned forward, his expression a mix of disdain and curiosity. "You ask for understanding, yet history shows otherwise. Why should we believe you?" "Because we have a choice," Lena replied, her voice steady despite the pressure. "We can choose to forge a path of cooperation, to learn from the mistakes of the past. The artifact holds wisdom, not just warnings. Let us demonstrate our potential together, rather than resorting to fear and conflict." The Council deliberated in hushed tones, the air thick with tension. Lena could feel the weight of their gaze, the burden of their doubts. But beneath it all, a flicker of hope ignited within her. If she could just reach one of them, maybe she could sway the tide. "Very well, human," the Council leader finally said. "You have our attention. But understand this, if you fail to prove your worth, the consequences will be dire." As the screen went dark, Lena's determination solidified. She knew that humanity had to rise to the occasion, not just for their survival, but to redefine what it meant to be a part of this vast galaxy. As the screen flickered to black, the weight of the Council's ultimatum pressed heavily on Lena's shoulders. The atmosphere in the command center shifted from anxious anticipation to a charged urgency. General Hayes turned to her, his expression a mixture of concern and determination. "We need a plan, and fast," he said, his voice firm. "How do we convince them that we're not the monsters that Exarac believed us to be?" Lena felt the eyes of her team upon her, their hopes resting on her shoulders. "We need to showcase our strengths. We need to highlight our creativity, our problem-solving abilities, and our capacity for cooperation. If we can demonstrate that humanity thrives under pressure and embraces innovation, we might sway their opinions." Malik stepped forward, a spark of excitement lighting his face. What if we create a live demonstration? We could set up challenges that highlight human ingenuity, like survival simulations, problem-solving exercises, and collaborative projects. That's a great idea, Lena replied, her mind racing with possibilities. We can even involve some of our most brilliant minds, scientists, engineers, and artists, to show the council the full spectrum of human capability. The team rallied around the plan, brainstorming ideas late into the night. They envisioned scenarios that would captivate the alien delegates, showcasing everything from engineering marvels to artistic expression. Each member contributed, their enthusiasm contagious. Lena felt hope blooming amidst the chaos, the notion of transformation becoming more tangible. The following day, Lena and her team began preparing for the demonstration. They coordinated with various departments, gathering resources and technology to create immersive experiences that would enthrall the council. In one corner of the facility, engineers crafted a miniature model of a human habitat on a harsh planet, illustrating how humans could adapt to extreme conditions. In another, artists collaborated on a multimedia presentation that showcased human creativity and resilience through storytelling. As they worked, Lena couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. The alien ships still hovered in Earth's orbit, a constant reminder of the urgency of their mission. Each passing moment felt like a countdown to Judgment Day. The night before the demonstration, Lena gathered her team for a final pep talk. "We've put our heart and soul into this presentation," she began, her voice steady. "No matter the outcome, we must remember who we are. We are explorers and creators. We embrace challenges, not just to survive, but to thrive. Let's show the galaxy that humanity is more than a warning. It's a promise of potential." As they cheered, Lena felt a renewed sense of purpose. They would not just present their case. They would tell a story of resilience, innovation, and hope. The next day, the command center was transformed into a vibrant showcase of human capability. Delegates from the council began to filter in, their expressions inscrutable. As Lena stood before them, her heart raced. She could feel the weight of their gaze, a mix of skepticism and curiosity. "Welcome, esteemed members of the council," she began, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "Today, we invite you to witness the essence of humanity. We hope to demonstrate that our resilience is not a threat, but an opportunity for collaboration." With a wave of her hand, the presentation began. Holographic displays flickered to life, depicting humans overcoming challenges, from surviving in the harshest environments to working together in times of crisis. Scientists shared breakthroughs that had shaped their world, engineers unveiled innovations that pushed boundaries, and artists expressed their vision of a united galaxy. As the demonstration unfolded, Lena watched the expressions of the council members shift. Where skepticism had once lingered, there was now intrigue. They leaned forward, captivated by the ingenuity and passion on display. With each passing moment, Lena's confidence grew. This was humanity, vibrant, complex, and filled with untapped potential. She could see the possibility of a future where fear transformed into understanding, and alliances were forged from mutual respect. But as the final segment of the presentation concluded, Lena knew the hard work was only just beginning. The real challenge lay ahead, and the council's response would determine their fate. As the final holographic display faded, the command center filled with a charged silence. Lena stood at the forefront, her heart racing, as the council members exchanged glances, their expressions inscrutable. A few murmured among themselves, while others focused intently on Lena, weighing the potential of humanity. Finally, Kalthor, the imposing warlord of the Dreth, leaned forward, his fierce gaze locking onto hers. "Your demonstration is impressive, human," he began, his voice echoing through the chamber like distant thunder. "But words and displays do not erase the fears rooted in our histories. Why should we believe that you won't unleash chaos upon the galaxy?" Lena took a deep breath, steeling herself against his piercing stare. Because we're not looking for conflict. Our survival depends on cooperation. We face challenges on our own planet and learn from our mistakes. If given the chance, we can work together to prevent the very chaos you fear. The council leader, a dignified being with shimmering skin, raised a hand for silence. We understand the importance of cooperation, but the memories of the Exarech remain vivid. They believe themselves to be different too. He gestured toward a display of the Exarech civilization, once grand and thriving, now reduced to ruins. What makes you think humanity will not follow the same path? Before Lena could respond, a blaring alarm shattered the tense atmosphere. Red lights flashed throughout the command center as the voice of the base's eye echoed urgently. Alert! Incoming ships detected. Multiple vessels entering Earth's atmosphere. Panic rippled through the assembled crowd. The council members exchanged worried glances, and Calthor's expression hardened. You see, the chaos you threaten is already at your doorstep. Lena's mind raced. We need to assess the situation, she said, her voice cutting through the rising chaos. If it's an attack, we must be prepared to defend ourselves. The command center transformed into a flurry of activity as officers scrambled to their stations, monitoring incoming ships on the screens. Lena felt the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. This was it, the moment where humanity's resolve would be tested against an unknown threat. Prepare for battle stations, General Hayes ordered, his voice commanding. We need to identify those vessels and determine their intent. As the screens lit up with data, Lena's heart sank. The ships were sleek and menacing, marked with the insignia of various alien factions, alliances that had long harbored distrust towards humanity. She recognized the emblem of the Vrax, a militaristic race known for their aggressive expansion, and the Emeri, whose covert operations had wreaked havoc across numerous worlds. They're here for us, Malik whispered, his voice trembling. They must have heard about the artifact and our presentation. Or they see an opportunity to eliminate what they perceive as a threat. Lena replied, steeling her resolve. We can't let fear dictate our actions. As the alarms blared louder, Lena took charge. We need to communicate with them. We can't just assume they're here to fight. Calthor stepped beside her, his imposing presence both intimidating and strangely reassuring. You think they will listen to you? They see us as weak, unified only in our fear of what humanity represents. Then let's show them we're not weak, Lena declared, her voice rising above the noise. We'll send a message together, unite our voices against a common threat. With Calthor's reluctant nod, Lena turned to the control panel. She quickly drafted a message, urging the approaching ships to stand down and engage in dialogue instead of aggression. The message emphasized that their mutual survival depended on collaboration, not conflict. As the message transmitted, a heavy silence fell over the command center, tension thick in the air. The countdown began, marking the moments until the response came. Lena could feel the gravity of their situation pressing down on her. Whatever happens next, we stand together, she said, looking at her team and Calthor. This was their moment to either redefine the narrative or succumb to the fears that had haunted them for so long. Seconds ticked by, and just as doubt began to creep in, a voice crackled over the comms. Incoming response. Stand by. The screen flickered, revealing the face of a Vrax commander, his expression unreadable. You dare call for peace? He sneered. Prepare for your reckoning. The room held its breath, and Lena's heart sank. The battle for their future had begun, and the stakes had never been higher. As the Vrax commander's words echoed through the command center, a chill swept through the room. Lena felt her pulse quicken, the weight of the impending conflict pressing down on her. She glanced at General Hayes, who stood rigid, his face a mask of determination mixed with anxiety. Prepare to defend the base, he barked, his voice slicing through the tension. Mobilize all available fighters and shield our infrastructure. Lena's heart raced. While the military prepared for a fight, she felt an urge to find another way. General, we can't just assume they'll attack. We need to show them we're willing to talk. Maybe we can convince them to listen. Listen. Calthor growled, crossing his arms. The Vraks are known for their bloodlust. They won't be swayed by words. We need to show our strength. Lina shook her head, her mind racing. What if we create a diversion? The live simulation of human ingenuity in action could showcase our strengths and buy us some time. If they see us working together creatively, they might reconsider their approach. Are you suggesting we stage a demonstration while they prepare to attack? Hayes asked, skepticism etched on his face. Yes, Lina insisted. If we can engage them in a display of our capabilities rather than a battle, it might turn the tide. They may underestimate us. Let's show them what humanity can do under pressure. After a moment's hesitation, Hayes nodded. All right, we'll need to act fast. Malik, gather the engineers. We'll create a rapid response display to demonstrate our technological advancements and teamwork. Lina quickly organized her team, and within moments, they set to work. Engineers began assembling makeshift displays, while artists and scientists brainstormed interactive challenges. The command center transformed into a hive of activity, fueled by adrenaline and the urgency of their situation. Think of this as a live-action simulation, Lina called out, rallying her team. We'll show them how we adapt, innovate, and collaborate. If we can impress them enough, they might think twice before attacking. As the engineers rigged up holographic projectors and simulation fields, Lina crafted scenarios that highlighted human ingenuity, survival techniques in extreme environments, crisis management during natural disasters, and technological solutions to common problems. Each demonstration would be a testament to humanity's resilience. Outside, the alien ships loomed ominously in the sky, their presence a constant reminder of the impending threat. Lina felt the tension building as they prepared for the demonstration. She took a deep breath, reminding herself that this was their chance to redefine the narrative. Ready, Malik called, signaling the team to take their positions. Lina's heart pounded as she stood before the assembled delegates and military personnel, facing the screens that would broadcast their efforts to the alien fleet. With a nod from Hayes, the simulation began. Holograms sprang to life, depicting scenarios where humans overcame extreme odds. A group of astronauts stranded on a hostile planet using ingenuity to create shelter and find food. Engineers rapidly constructing a dam to prevent flooding during a natural disaster, and artists creating a massive mural to bring communities together in times of crisis. The reactions from the alien fleet were initially skeptical, but as they witnessed humanity's resourcefulness and ability to adapt, murmurs of curiosity began to ripple through the ranks. Lina could see the Vraks commander's expression shift as he watched the simulation unfold. As the final scenario played out, a collaboration between humans from various backgrounds to solve a critical issue, the room erupted in applause. The council members watched, their skepticism slowly giving way to intrigue. Lina took a deep breath and stepped forward. What you see here is the heart of humanity. We face challenges not with fear, but with creativity and collaboration. We are not just survivors. We are innovators, dreamers, and partners. This is the potential we bring to the galaxy. As her voice echoed, the screens displayed the final image, a united community overcoming obstacles together, demonstrating the power of cooperation. Lina held her breath, hoping against hope that this display would resonate. After a moment of silence, Calthor turned to the council leader. Perhaps there is merit in what they present. Lina's heart leaped. This was their moment to bridge the gap between fear and understanding. But as the tension in the room began to shift, she knew they weren't out of danger yet. The real battle lay ahead, winning the hearts and minds of the alien factions that view humanity as a threat. As the last holographic image faded, a heavy silence settled over the command center. Lina stood at the forefront, her heart racing. She could see uncertainty flickering in the eyes of the council members, But Calthor's expression was a mix of grudging respect and newfound curiosity. "Your display was impressive, humans," the Vrak's commander said, his tone less dismissive than before. "But we remain unconvinced that your creativity will prevail against our might." Before Lena could respond, the command center's alarms blared again, jolting everyone to attention. Multiple ships approaching at high speed. The AI voice echoed, urgent and sharp. They appear to be from the Vraks and Ameri factions. Lena felt her stomach drop. "They're not backing down," she murmured. General Hayes straightened, his demeanor shifting from diplomatic to tactical. "Prepare for engagement. Mobilize all fighters and defensive systems." As officers rushed to their stations, Lena turned to her team. "We need to hold them off. If we can buy some time, we might sway the others. Let's activate the artifact. Maybe it can help us defend Earth." Calthor stepped forward, his warlike presence commanding attention. "We must be careful. The artifact may hold secrets we do not yet understand. It could be a weapon, or it could unleash something worse. Whatever it is, it's our best shot," Lena replied, her voice firm. "We can't let fear dictate our actions. We need to act quickly." With Calthor's reluctant nod, they retrieved the artifact from its secure chamber. Lena felt its weight in her hands as she activated it, a low hum resonating through the room. The holographic interface sprang to life once more, displaying shifting images that danced before them. "We'll have to adapt its technology to our defenses," Malik said, his eyes gleaming with determination. "Let's combine it with our existing systems." As Lena and her team worked feverishly, the screens around them began to fill with alarming reports of incoming Vraks and Ameri ships, their weapon systems primed for attack. Lena's heart raced as she focused on integrating the alien technology with human defenses. "Deploying shields," Hayes shouted, his voice echoing through the command center. "Prepare for counterattack." Outside, the sky filled with the silhouettes of approaching vessels, sleek and deadly. The first wave of Vrak ships began their assault, unleashing a barrage of energy blasts that lit up the atmosphere. Explosions rocked the facility, and the ground trembled beneath their feet. "Activate the shield," Lena called, sweat beading on her forehead as she input the final commands. The artifact hummed louder, its energy pulsating through the systems. With a blinding flash, a protective barrier enveloped the base, deflecting the first volley of incoming fire. Cheers erupted from the command center, but Lena knew this was only the beginning. "Deploy fighter squadrons," General Hayes ordered, and a cacophony of engines roared to life as ships launched from the hangars. Lena watched as the fighters soared into the fray, weaving through the chaos, their pilots determined to defend their home. But the alien ships were relentless. The Vrak's commander's forces regrouped, launching a coordinated assault that targeted the shield's weak points. Lena's heart sank as she watched the screens flash red with warnings. "Can't you do anything with the artifact?" Calthor pressed, urgency creeping into his tone. "I'm trying," Lena shouted back, sweat trickling down her brow. "If we can tap into its energy more effectively, we might be able to amplify our shields." With Malik and the team at her side, Lena worked furiously to stabilize the artifact's output. They reconfigured the energy channels, adjusting settings as the battle raged on around them. "Adjusting now," Malik shouted, his fingers flying over the console. Just then, a massive blast struck the shield, causing it to flicker. The room plunged into momentary darkness before emergency lights kicked in. Lena's heart raced as alarms blared, warning of imminent breach. "Status report," Hayes barked. "Shields at 50%. An officer yelled, panic rising in his voice. Lena took a deep breath, focusing her mind on the artifact. "I need everyone to trust me. If I can channel its energy into our defenses, we might stand a chance." With a final burst of determination, she initiated the sequence. Energy surged through the artifact, and the hum intensified. The shield pulsed brightly, absorbing the incoming blasts and strengthening against the relentless assault. "We're holding," Malik shouted, his face alight with exhilaration. But Lena knew they couldn't hold for long. The enemy would not relent. We need to find a way to communicate with them again. If we can create a moment of hesitation, maybe we can sway the other factions to our side. As the battle raged on, Lena's thoughts raced. They were fighting not just for their survival, but for the very future of humanity in the galaxy. The time for dialogue was running out, but she was determined to seize every opportunity. As the battle intensified around them, Lena felt the weight of urgency pressing down like an iron fist. The Vrax and Emeri ships continued their assault, and the command center shuddered with each impact. Lena focused her energy on the artifact, channeling its power into the shield, but she knew this could only be a temporary solution. "General," she shouted over the cacophony, "we need to create a diversion. If we can draw some of their fire, it might give us a chance to reach out to the Council again." Hayes nodded, his expression grim. "What do you have in mind?" Lena glanced at the display screens, her mind racing. "We could set up a decoy. If we can make it look like we're deploying a new weapon or defense system, it might attract their attention long enough for us to send another message." "Malik, can we rig one of our ships to look more imposing?" Hayes asked, already strategizing. "Absolutely. I can enhance its weapon systems to make it seem more threatening," Malik replied, his eyes sparkling with determination. "I just need a few minutes." "Do it," Lena urged, and the team sprang into action. They scrambled to modify one of the fighter ships, bolstering its capabilities while creating a visual display to make it appear like a massive threat. As they worked, the hum of the artifact grew louder, its energy radiating through the room. Lena felt a connection to it, a sense of urgency that mirrored her own desire for peace. If only they could turn the tide. "Almost done," Malik called, and Lena could see the ship take shape on the monitors. It was a makeshift behemoth, covered in holographic displays that simulated heavy weaponry. "Launch it," Hayes commanded, and the modified ship shot out from a hangar, veering towards the enemy fleet. The moment it broke free, Lena focused on the communication array. "Let's send another message. This time, we'll be clear about our intentions. We want dialogue, not war." The screens lit up as Lena tapped into the array, crafting a concise message that echoed through the void. "To the Vrax and Emeri, we stand ready to negotiate. We are not your enemy. Stand down and let us talk." As the decoy ship blared its threat signals, a wave of energy surged through the command center. The Vrax ships turned their fire toward the bluff, their attention diverted from the main base. Lena felt a flicker of hope, but it was quickly overshadowed by the realization that they needed more than just a diversion. The Vrax commander had to be convinced that humanity was worth considering as an ally. "Now," Hayes shouted, directing the team, "let's prepare for a tactical negotiation." The flickering screens displayed the enemy fleet's response as they attempted to assess the decoy. "They're engaging the false ship, but we can't be sure how long that will hold," Malik reported, his face taut with concentration. As they watched the action unfold, Lena turned to Kalthor. "What do you think? Can your people help us with a show of strength? If we stand united, it might persuade the Council to listen." Kalthor's expression softened slightly, a flicker of understanding crossing his features. "We are a proud race, but we have seen the value in alliances before. If you can create a moment of pause, I will rally my warriors. But we need to act quickly." Just then, a message came through from the Vrax commander. "You think a decoy can save you? You're merely delaying the inevitable." Lena seized the moment, her voice steady. "We are not here to fight. We are offering cooperation. You have seen our capabilities. Let us show you our willingness to change the narrative." As the decoy ship continued to draw fire, Lena could see the alien ships hesitating. The tension was palpable. The possibility of negotiation hung in the balance. Kalthor raised his voice, his warrior spirit ignited. "We stand with you, humans. If we are to be judged, let us be judged together." The council members from the alien ships began to murmur, their wariness evident as they weighed their options. Lena took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. Now, while they're distracted, let's broadcast our combined message, calling for an end to hostilities. Lena urged. This is our chance. With swift coordination, the command center began transmitting a united front, a message of solidarity between humans and the Dreth, showcasing their commitment to peace. As the display lit up with their faces, Lena's heart raced. This was their moment to redefine their fate. The screens flickered, and the response from the alien fleet began to materialize. Would they embrace the offer of peace, or would they fall back into the chaos that had haunted them for so long? The tension in the room grew thick, as everyone held their breath, awaiting the decision that would change everything. The command center pulsed with tension as Lena's united message broadcast across the galaxy, each word hanging in the air like a lifeline thrown into turbulent waters. The alien ships hesitated, the flashing lights and warning signals momentarily silenced. Lena could see the uncertainty flickering in their eyes, and her heart raced with hope. Hold your positions, General Hayes commanded, the determination in his voice resonating throughout the room. Let's give them time to process what they've seen. The screen displayed the chaotic scenes from the battlefield, with the decoy ship drawing fire, while Lena's team monitored the response from the alien factions. The murmurs of debate among the Vrax and Emeri ships rippled through the communication channels. Calthor stood by Lena's side, his powerful presence both intimidating and reassuring. If we are to succeed, they must believe in our resolve, he said, his voice low but firm. We must show them we are willing to fight for peace. Lena nodded, her mind racing. But we must also show them we're capable of cooperation. If we can establish a connection, perhaps they'll see the value in what we offer. Just then, the holographic display flickered, and the Vrax commander's face appeared, his expression inscrutable. You think a few words and a ruse will change our minds. We have fought countless battles and seen many species rise and fall. Why should we trust you? Lena felt a surge of desperation, but she also sensed an opening. Because we are not the Exarac. We have learned from the past and are willing to change our ways. Look at what we've built. This is a chance for a new alliance, one that can benefit all our races. The Vrax commander regarded her for a moment, his steely gaze unyielding. And if we decline, what then? Then you will miss an opportunity to ally with a resilient species, Calthor interjected, his voice resonant. Humanity has shown that it can adapt and innovate even under the greatest pressure. Together, we could defend against threats greater than ourselves. Lena felt the collective tension in the command center, every member of her team holding their breath, waiting for the commander's response. The silence stretched on, heavy with uncertainty. Finally, the Vrax commander nodded, albeit grudgingly. We will consider your proposal, but understand this. Mistrust runs deep, and actions speak louder than words. You will need to prove your worth, and soon. Lena felt a rush of relief, but knew the battle wasn't over. We are prepared to demonstrate our capabilities and collaborate. Let's set up a summit where we can all come together, share knowledge, and forge a true alliance. The commander's lips curled slightly, almost in amusement. A summit. You are bold, human. Very well. But mark my words, any sign of weakness will be met with swift retribution. As the hologram flickered out, Lena exchanged glances with her team. There was a mixture of hope and apprehension in the air. They had a chance, but the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty. The command center erupted in cautious optimism. We did it, Malik exclaimed, a grin breaking across his face. They're willing to negotiate. But this is just the beginning, Lena cautioned, raising her hand. We need to prepare for the summit and prove our worth. In the days that followed, Lena and her team worked tirelessly. They gathered experts from various fields, scientists, engineers, artists, who could showcase the diversity and capability of humanity. They crafted presentations and demonstrations that highlighted their technological advancements, cultural achievements, and resilience in the face of adversity. As the day of the summit approached, Lena felt a mixture of excitement and fear. This was a pivotal moment for humanity, an opportunity to reshape their destiny among the stars. On the day of the summit, delegations from the Vrax, Amari, and Dreth arrived, their ships forming a stark contrast against the blue of Earth. Lena stood at the forefront, flanked by General Hayes and Calther. Together, they represented a united front, one that signified not just survival, but a commitment to a future of collaboration. As the delegates gathered, Lena stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Welcome, esteemed representatives. Today marks a new dawn. We are here to forge a future that transcends fear and division, a future built on cooperation, understanding, and shared aspirations." Her voice echoed across the assembly, and as she looked out at the varied faces, each marked by the weight of their histories, she felt a surge of hope. This was more than a negotiation, it was the birth of a new era. As discussions began, Lena knew there would be challenges ahead. But with each voice that joined the conversation, she felt the possibility of a united galaxy coming to life. And perhaps, just perhaps, they could turn the one thing that terrified aliens into a source of strength: humanity's unwavering spirit.